So I want to really talk about what the film brought on. The film was really about the people. And it's the people who we need to help. Housing is all about economic prosperity. And when we look at it, to get down into the numbers to show you what the impact is what I think is really needs to happen here. There was a report produced by the Center Policy for Housing Policy out of Washington, D.C. for the California State Department of Real Estate, Department of Finance, Department of Housing and Development. And what it did is it said that there's economic output and economic benefits of housing. And they come to us three different ways: direct construction costs and direct costs. That's spending on materials and wages to all of those people who are directly employed by the home building entities. Not the shiny shoes like me, the guys sitting out there with the hammers, the guys who are actually putting the house together, the citizens of your community. Then there's the indirect cost. That's me. That's actually a lot of your staff in the building and planning departments, and the engineers, and the suppliers, and the goods spent on supplies. But more importantly, there's also the induced value of development and housing. And that is the money that all of these people who are associated with housing development spend in the communities. And in San Diego and in these regions, it's even more significant. Statewide, only 56% of the housing cost is direct. In San Diego, it's 62%. Because we are somewhat of an island, and because of that island nature of our county, more of the money that is spent stays local as opposed to moving outwards. So what's happened in terms of the dollars? $25 billion in direct construction spending over the last 10 years. Gone from an average of $3.3 billion to less than $1 billion since over the last 5 years. Indirect spending is at $9 billion. Induced spending is $40 billion in economic output in the last decade. But what we've seen is construction activity diminished dramatically. From an average of 15,000 units in the first half of this decade down to about 3,200 in the last 2 years. With that, we've seen again that direct construction spending going down, economic output going down. So what's happened? This region has lost $15 billion in economic output. So what's the impact of that? The impact of that is lost jobs. The construction industry has lost 39,000 jobs in the last couple of years. When you look at that and tie that together with people in real estate and finance, sort of the shiny shoes aspects of the home building industry, you go up to 54,000, and it's 64% of the jobs lost in this region have been construction and home building related. Put it in another way for you, 1 out of 4 unemployed people in this county work in the housing industry and construction trades. So what do we need to do? We need to get these people back to work. The report that was put together by the Building California's Future identified that a new housing unit built generates 2.4 jobs. So every house that we build is going to bring 2.4 jobs back into this region. So what do we need to do? We need to look at policies that will help us build homes, put people back to work, and bring back the economic prosperity that San Diego so desperately needs. Thank you very much, and I do appreciate your time and courtesy.